get the right information, and make a calculated decision based on the facts, not just on the feelings.
I'm considering accepting a job offer that pays less per hour but has a pension if I stay 10 plus years. How can I value today's wages against a possible pension? Well, that's a great question, Hannah. I don't think that, first of all, I would say it's probably not a good idea to solely think about this from a financial perspective, and I'm sure that she hasn't, but you have to think about your work life, right? How is that job going to be on your personal life? How's it going to weigh on or be additive to your personal life? Are you going to be excited about that? Are you going to be motivated about that? I mean, I think you spend so much time at your job, you better be thinking about that, and I think that she probably has. But past that, you need to make sure also that you don't blow up your monthly budget by taking less income today, because we hope that you're already have already built a financial plan, a retirement plan, and you know where you are on track for that. Certainly a pension can be super additive to that when it comes to retirement income. But if you are taking less pay now, are you going to be able to continue to contribute at least at some level, if not your current level, to your retirement accounts?
Scott, what I know is pensions are great. They are regular, predictable, dependable sources of income that help you meet your required expenses in retirement. It is part of the Gen Wealth Ready to Retire process to evaluate a pension and make sure that we understand how that plays into that equation. However, what I also know is that someone who just has a pension and that's it is in pretty tough shape, because most pensions don't inflate. Your first check is your best check unless you work for the government, and then there's usually a cost of living adjustment built into government pensions. Now, that being said, what I believe is you've got to evaluate your ability to contribute to your 401k plan in addition to your pension, because you're going to want to have discretionary income. You're going to want to increase your income over time on top of that pension to offset the effects of inflation. We know what inflation does to you. We got a real good lesson in that in the last 2 or 3 years. So you've got to be more diverse than just going for a pension. And if you can't pay your bills today, that pension doesn't matter in the future. So you got to think about how much less income are you going to take on that situation, on that opportunity to get that pension, because a dollar today is worth a lot of money when you need that dollar, as opposed to a pension dollar sometime in the future.
Yeah, let's kind of drill down on a little bit of math here before we move away from Hannah here. But I think one way you can compare, all those things are considerations first, but if you're looking to just see an apples to apples comparison as best as you can create that, if you think about, if you don't take the pension, if you don't take the job with the pension, do you know where you're going to end up from an asset level based on current contributions, based on future contributions? If you haven't done that, or if you don't know, make a plan to see where your future expected retirement date, let's say 65 years old, you need to know, if I keep doing X, I'm going to wind up with potentially, based on assumed rates of return, a certain amount of assets. And if you take 4 or 5% as a general rule of thumb on a withdrawal from that amount that you're going to end up with, that's probably, and then divide it by 12, that's roughly, as best you can get to, a good rule of thumb to say this is going to be my monthly benefit from that future lump sum, right? And then see what the pension is going to look like on the other side of that, right?
Yeah.
If you work, and see how it compares. But even then, John, I think it's not apples to apples, because there's no liquidity in that pension payment. There could be liquidity in investments.
That's absolutely right. And if you needed $20,000 or $30,000, don't call the pension company, because
Right.
They're not going to give it to you.
No forwarding.
There is no cash balance in that pension after you start drawing it. So I think that there's use the word balance. There is balance that is necessary here. You have to think about it from the standpoint of your current income. You have to think about it from the standpoint of your future income. And I'll summarize what Scott just said. You need to plan.
Yeah.
You need to plan with an advisor who can ask the right questions of you, get the right information, and make a calculated decision based on the facts, not just on the feelings.
Yep. Hannah, thanks for the question. We want to remind all of our viewers and listeners to subscribe to our YouTube channel for exclusive content you can't find anywhere else. If you're watching us on YouTube, you already know that. But if you listen on podcasts, which we know a lot of people do, and a majority of you still listen on radio, we're thankful for that. But if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, there's all kinds of exclusive content to help you discover, protect, and share true financial independence. Just search for Gen Wealth Financial Advisors on YouTube. I love our mission statement, John, because somebody is in one of those three stages. They are either trying to discover it, protect it, or share it.
Yeah, that is our mission statement, true financial independence. What is true financial independence? It's where you have the ability to wake up every day and not worry about where your paycheck is coming from. That is the mission of Gen Wealth Financial Advisors. If that's your mission, then we probably ought to get together.
Yeah, and there's a toll-free way to do that. Call us at 866-653-PLAN. That's 866-653-7526, or you can send us an email. Send it to show@getreadyforthefuture.com, and someone will get back with you and match you with an advisor closest to your geographical location. We have offices all over the state now. We're in Conway. We do the show right here in the West Little Rock office. We're in Bryant, Hot Springs, El Dorado, and in the Shreveport-Bossier City area in northwest Louisiana.